Okay, thank you. Right. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girdhari Gopijana Vallabha Girdhari Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjan Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjan Yamuna Tirvanchari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Om Gyan Trimurandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shugurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Madhavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganara Gunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvitam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shiva Shakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Vishwabhanu Sutta Devi Pranami Hari Priye Vanshakar Patu Brihishcha Kirpa Sindhu Vacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Bhangam Nanyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandashi Gurindin Taranam Paramananda Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishram. Hari Om Tassat. Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Tato Jem Udiriyat Nastapre Shabdreshu Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtaki. So, thank you all so much. Thank you for joining this morning. And we're going to make a start on this new format, as I mentioned. First one for 2025. And seriously, we're going to learn so much. We've gone through Bhagavatam all these years, but we just the service. Now we're going to really go deep into it. Today is the preface and the introduction. And I hope you had a chance to read it, because please read everything. It's really, really useful. Read it as many times as you need to read, and you'll find that there's so much treasure and nectar in there that we can benefit from. I mean, this was what Sukadeva Goswami said to Maharaj Dikshit. This is what you got to do. This is the goal of life. Everything you need to know is in Srimad Bhagavatam, and these are something for people who are about to die. And we don't know when we're about to die, right? So it's very important that we read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's start. And well, first of all, this is like not going to be like a seminar or like slides or anything like that. It's a course. It's not a course with exams or anything like that. But together, as we're doing before, we'll relish and try and understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Before, we're just looking at the pastimes. Now we look at it from verse by verse. Okay, so we won't be reading any verses today. This is just introduction and the preface. So I don't know how we'll cover, how many verses we can cover a day. It depends on the size of the verse and size of the purport, how it goes. So, but we'll just play by ear and see how it goes. So to begin with, the explanation is that we have three scriptures, right? So we have Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they all follow on from the previous one, right? So the first one is Bhagavad Gita. So all the instructions are given in Bhagavad Gita in like seed form. And we've got 700 verses. So the instructions are there. All the instructions are there, but they like in a seed form. So that's why it's considered the undergraduate study. But then the detailed explanations come in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's expansion of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 700 verses, Bhagavatam 18,000 verses. So it's the same thing, just like in a degree course. After a degree, you go to a master's, then they're still talking about the same models and concepts, but they expand them a lot more. So when you study Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll automatically understand Bhagavad Gita as well. So for example, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna that give up all other religions and just surrender unto me. So these instructions are actually unpacked in Srimad Bhagavatam. That surrender is shared and expanded here. The qualities of that surrender, the obstacles that we face during that surrender. So different examples of great devotees that we have already been looking at that surrendered to the Lord. The glories of Srimad Bhagavatam are unlimited, right? So it was recited by Sukadeva Goswami when Maharaj Parikshit asked the question, what should a dying man do? And this question is also very important for us because we will be dying. As soon as we're born, we are dying. We just don't know when. That's the only difference. He knew he had 7 days. We don't know. So Bhagavad Gita starts with, we are not this body. That's your shloka 2.13. Denasmin yatha dehe kamaram yovram jara tatha dehantra prapti dhirastatrana mohiti. So as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So it starts with that, telling you who we are and what the soul is all about. And then it ends up with fully surrender to Krishna, 1866. Sarva dharman pratajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papavam mokshya ami ma shucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Now, that's where it ends. And where does Srimad Bhagavatam start? It starts with ultimate duty of living being, which is to surrender unto the Lord, which is our abhidaya, fully surrender to Krishna. And that comes in shloka 1.12. So second shloka is your abhidaya. Actually, the 3 shlokas are Sabandha, Abhidaya, and Projan. The first 3 shlokas, that's how they work out. So the surrender comes in. First, we establish a relationship. Then the surrender comes in the second verse. Because that's how you will establish a relationship, by surrendering to Krishna. So then, Srimad Bhagavatam ends with chanting the holy name. Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Panashanam Paranamo Dukha Shamnas Tam Namami Hari Param. That's where Sri Bhagavatam ends. That Sankirtan, that is the way. That's how you surrender. Surrender to the holy name. So, meaning I offer my respectful obeisances unto Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy name destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. So that's where Bhagavatam ends. Then we go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. And these are the three scriptures that we have been recommended to study, but preferably in that order because they follow on from each other. So CC starts with chanting the holy name, Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya demonstrates that as a baby, he stops crying when he hears the chanting of the holy name, right? And that's in Adi Leela 3.81. It's mentioned that when he was crying, if you chant, he'll stop crying. So he's showing that chanting is the way forward. And then CC ends with Aslishyava Padaratam, the 8 verses of Sikshashtakam. I will do anything for the Supreme Lord, even if he handles me roughly. This is love in rejection, the highest kind of love. So that's beginning. Who are we? We are spirit souls. How does it end? We totally surrender, and we work on getting Krishna prem. 3 scriptures work side by side. Right now we're concentrating on Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, just coming to the preface. So here, Srila Prabhupada begins with talking about spiritual communism in the preface, if you had a chance to read. He said that spiritual communism is required for peace. So how humanity can become one in peace, friendship, and prosperity with a common cause. Sarvasyam idam sarvam. So everything belongs to God. Nothing belongs to us. This is Bhagavat communism or spiritual communism. That's if everybody understood that nothing belongs to us, we're not the proprietors, we're not the controllers, then there would be peace and prosperity everywhere. You find some third world countries, right? What is third world country? They're only third world country because the leaders of those countries are robbing them, right? They come in power so they can take everything. If they distribute the wealth properly between their citizens, then there would be no third world or poverty like that. It's because the leaders are not cooperating with the public. That's the only reason. Because otherwise, God gives enough everywhere. There's everything to there's opportunity everywhere. So everything belongs to God. Nothing belongs to us. This is Bhagavad communism. So communists, as you know, as the communists say, everything belongs to the state. We say everything belongs to God. That's the only difference. We never say that anything belongs to anyone. No, this is Bhagavad communism, so everything belongs to God. So one can utilize God's property as he requires, not more than that. Then Srila Prabhupada explained that he'll be considered a thief. He will be punishable. So just take what you need and not try to hoard money or gold or any kind, even grains. There's like quite popular that people hoard grains so they can sell them on the black market later on when there's shortage like that. So don't hoard anything. Just take what you need. That's the idea. So here Prabhupada explaining the first mantra of the Isha Upanishad. This is the translation of the entire text. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself. So what I was just saying earlier, that's explained in the Shri Upanishad, which are set aside as his quota. So Srila Prabhupada is talking about the quota, or Sri Ishmael is talking about the quota. We all have a quota. We should not try to go beyond that. And one shouldn't accept other things, showing well to whom they belong. Even when we are eating, first of all, we only eat, or at least we should only eat what is what Krishna accepts, and what he doesn't accept, we should not eat. And when whatever we're going to eat, we offer it to Krishna first. Because if you don't do that, chapter 3 Bhagavad-Gita explains that you're eating barely sin. So you are a thief and you sin. You must offer it to Krishna. It's not like Krishna is going to take your food. You just offer it. It's like a gesture. He will take your intention. He's not going to take the food, but we should always offer it to Krishna and then eat it. And then it becomes sanctified as well. You get his blessings and you please Krishna like that. So from this text, we can understand that God provides the necessities of life for each and every creature on earth, like everyone. So I'm entitled to a certain portion, which is sufficient for my needs. If I take more than my share, I violate the divine law. And in so doing, I deprive a fellow creature of its allotted portion. See what I mean? That you take what you need. If you try to hoard and take everything, then because there's a certain quota, you're going over the quota, you're depriving other people of that portion, of their portion. Because this divine principle is the real antecedent of the Marxist principle, to each according to his needs. This is what the Marxist in communism you would say. So this is what Prabhupada calls it, communism. And this is in the preface explained like that. We cannot take more than what is necessary. This is actually spiritual communism. If everyone thinks that everything belongs to God and I am son of God, so I have good right to enjoy the property of my father, but as much as I require, not more than that. And that's so this was mentioned in a lecture in New Vrindavan 1976. And you will just let you know that everything we will discuss is from Srila Prabhupada's lectures. So far, we've discussed things as they are in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we will also discuss things from Srimad Bhagavatam, also compare them with Srila Prabhupada's commentary on those purports as well. And now if we look at the introduction, so the beginning of introduction is, so Srila Prabhupada is talking about the conception of God and the conception of absolute truth. And he says that they're not on the same level. So God and absolute are not on the same level. Because Srimad Bhagavatam hits on the target of the absolute truth. The conception of God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of the absolute truth indicates the summum bonum, or the ultimate source of all energies. So there's a difference. So there is no difference of opinion about the personal feature of God as a controller, because the controller cannot be impersonal. That's mentioned in the introduction. So most people have some concept of God, and God generally means superior and who has subordinates. That would be a God. And then that means everybody is God, because everybody has superiority and they have subordinates. That's not a full concept of God, right? But Srimad Bhagavatam is not talking about God and servants only. Srimad Bhagavatam is rising above the concept of God and servant. Srimad Bhagavatam is talking about the absolute truth. The absolute truth, Radha and Krishna. They are beyond the conception of God. Because the relationship or the rasas that are there between Radha and Krishna are the jivas and are beyond just master and servant. As we have seen, there's like 5 principal rasas. Excuse me. Because in the God concept, the relation would not be available. So we have rasas, that's the absolute truth. In the God concept, It's about awe and reverence, and of like a lot of respect, a lot of bowing down, and possibly fear as well of the anger of God, like that. So that's God. But Srimad Bhagavatam is talking about the absolute truth. So the absolute truth is the source of all energies. There's the energy and the energetic, Shakti and the Shaktiman, right? The Lord Krishna, having unlimited and inconceivable energies, we call Bhagwan. So we talk about Bhagwan, the absolute truth. Bhagwan is a person with unlimited energies. It's full of six opulences, wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and yet he's renounced to everything, not attached to any of these. That is Bhagwan. And all these opulences are unlimited. There's no limit to his strength or his wealth or his fame, right? And also in the introduction, introduces Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya introduced us to Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada talks about Lord Chaitanya. He gives like a description and precept of the life of Lord Chaitanya, who actually is Krishna himself. In fact, Lord Chaitanya is the energy and the energetic. So Krishna is the energetic, Radha is the energy, Lord Chaitanya is the energy and the energetic, two in one. And this is who we follow in the Kali Yuga, right? So Lord Chaitanya, who we follow in our Gaudiya tradition, he recommends the process as the most excellent mode of worship. He accepts this Srimad Bhagavatam Puran as the spotless literature for understanding the Lord. And he preaches that the ultimate goal of life for all human beings is to attain the stage of prema, or love of God. So Lord Chaitanya, he gave three orders to us, right? So we have to follow three orders from Lord Chaitanya. He said, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. So these three things he has asked us to do. So we don't just chant. That's the idea. We don't just chant. We have to do service as well. Because although chanting, is one of the 9 devotional services, but alongside that, you have to serve, do some service for Krishna as well. So Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Preaching as well. So one has to chant Hare Krishna, one has to serve Krishna, and third is read the teachings of Krishna and then share them with others like we are doing. So serve, chant, and preach. Do book distribution. You can start preaching. That's all part of preaching when you are doing book distribution. Or even if you're making some prasad for the people who are doing book distribution, or you give a lift to someone who's doing book distribution, anything that is connected with preaching, you've done it, right? So chanting is your own thing. You have to do that yourself. You have to go all the way. Service you can do wherever you want to. You can serve. If you don't want to serve, or you don't have time, you can give some donation. That's also a service. And in Bhagavad Gita explains that if you can't do this, you do that. So it explains how, what stages you can do your service, right? So anything you can do for Krishna to please him is helpful. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken about Krishna. So devotees of Lord Chaitanya are simultaneously Chaitanya Bhaktas and Krishna Bhaktas. Because we are devotees of Lord Chaitanya, end of the day. In the Kali Yuga, we are following Lord Chaitanya's mission, the Sankirtan movement. So it's mentioned that we will get position in Krishna Leela and Chaitanya Leela, because we are Chaitanya Bhaktas and Krishna Bhaktas. So we can make it out of this material world. We will join in Krishna's Leela as as Krishna's bhaktas, and then we will also join in the Gaura Leela as well as Chaitanya's bhaktas at the same time. Because these leelas are going on. Just because they're finished here doesn't mean they're finished. They're moving on to another universe, to another planet. They're we are like on a reel, like a rota. Say, the film is running, the video, the camera is running. It's running, from different one place to another. It's going on all the time. So this is important for us to also read and study, because we need to know about Krishna, and we need to know about Lord Chaitanya as well. So we need to read all these 3 scriptures. So talk about the contents of Srimad Bhagavatam now. So the preface and introduction we just looked at. I mean, it's quite big. The introduction was best to read it yourself as well. Then what are we studying in Srimad Bhagavatam? It says, Sada Sevya, Srimad Bhagavati Katha, Yasya Sharman Matrena Haristitam Samsaraya. Which means, Srimad Bhagavatam must be read and heard every step, because just by hearing or reading it, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna himself manifests in the heart. That's written in the Padam Puran. Just by hearing and reading, Krishna will manifest in the heart. So we are chanting continuously, trying to clean the heart, so Krishna can sit in there. Read Srimad Bhagavatam as well. Speed up the process, clean it up, and then Krishna will come and sit in there. Because you have to remember Krishna all the time. We remember Krishna when we're chanting, remember Krishna when we are reading or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So we're all connected. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. It's a literary incarnation of Krishna. It's a ripened fruit of the Vedas. So the 18 Puranas are in the mode of, so there's the 18 Puranas and the Vedas, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is the fruit, the essence, or the ripened fruit of these Vedas and Puranas, and it's known as the Mahapuran. Oh, this is how Lord Chaitanya described it, as Mahapuran. And it's got 10 subjects, as you know. And Atra Sargo Visargcha Sthana Poshna Uthya Man Mantre Shanu Katha Nirodo Mukti Ashraya. That's verse 2:10:1, Srimad Bhagavatam, on the 10 topics, which actually start with the Canto 3. Topics start with Canto 3, which is Sarg. Canto 3 is Sarg, as you know, the creation by Lord. So that's the primary creation, where Krishna provides all the materials, all the necessities, all the knowledge to Brahma. Brahma is like the engineer, and Krishna is the supplier. He supplies him with everything that he needs to know, all the maps and blueprints, and he provides him with all the materials, Mahatattva, everything he needs. And he says, now just go and build it. So that's a primary creation. Brahma can't do primary creation because he doesn't have those facilities. Only Krishna has all those facilities. So he gives them to Brahma, and then Canto 4 is Visarg, secondary creation by Brahma and the Manus, the progenies, etc. And the Manu laws, Manu Samhita, the creation, takes place like that, and there has to be rules and regulations for mankind. So Brahma and then the Manus. Then we come on to Canto 5, Sthan, the structure of the universe, the planetary systems. We have 14 planetary systems. We are in the middle on number 7, and the low planets, the hellish planets, then the higher planets, the Svargs and Brahmalok, like that. So their planet is higher than us. The planet system, rather. Planet system higher than us, planet systems lower than us as well. We're like in the middle. We're in a very good position. If you're in a higher position, you're having too much fun, you won't have time for Krishna. If you're in the lower planets, you have too much suffering, you won't be thinking about Krishna. You might be thinking about Krishna, but probably not in a good way, right? So too much happiness, too much distress. But we're right in the middle. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we are sad. That's the way of the Dukhalam Shashvatam. This world is, but there's this fickle. There's like temporary happiness, temporary sadness as well. When you're sad, there'll be time for happiness. When you're happy, that sad time may come as well. So this is like a bit of both, and right in the center here. Canto 6 is portion, protection to the people. He's talking about how Krishna protects his devotees, and there's examples of like Ajamil and even Indra, Chitraketu, how Krishna protected them, and Gajendra, when they thought about him, remembered him, he always protected them. Krishna is always there. He's a Chitta, he's infallible. He never lets his devotees down. He'll be there for you when you remember him. Like Draupadi, he waited for her to remember him. She was struggling. She thought she could take care of herself, but she realized later on, now this is not going to work. I have to take help from Krishna. And then she remembered him, fully surrendered to him. And Krishna came running to help her. So Krishna is there. He's waiting. He wants to help. But we have to ask for it nicely. And we have to be serious that we want the help. Then he will help. Why should he help? You don't want his help. He says, fine, you can do it yourself. Then you don't need me. That's fine. But when we show that we can't do it ourselves, then always stand it. So we're not the controllers, we're not the proprietors. If we can remember these two things, I think we can surrender to Krishna. It's only when we forget or we think we are the controllers, we are the proprietors. We start taking control, and we never have the real control because we can't guarantee any results, right? So Canto 7, Uti, description of the inauspicious inclinations, or like Hiranyakashipu, people like that. So we talk about Prahlad Maharaj, help. He was also protected by the Lord. And then Canto 8, Manvantras, the dynasty of the Manus, of all the different Manus that come into like a day of Brahma, like that. And then Canto 9 is Shanukatha, dynasties of the sun and moon. So we have like Surya Vanshis and Chandra Vanshis, different dynasties are described in Canto 9. Canto 10 is Acharya, and we study all the first 9 cantos first to go to Lord Krishna's pastimes, and this should be done in that order. Now, some people get tempted to quickly go into Krishna's pastimes, but really you will just misunderstand them. You won't, because you haven't really understood Krishna. So how can you understand his pastimes? You have to understand Krishna first in the first 9 cantos, and then you appreciate him in the 10th canto. Otherwise, you can't appreciate him. And you will just look at all the things in a perverted way as well. You want to understand, what's Krishna doing? Krishna says, do what I say, know what I do. And if you jump straight on to Canto 10, you didn't hear what he said. You just see what he does, and you think, oh, maybe I can do a bit of that as well. Right? Don't do what Krishna does. He's God. He can do anything. And he has his own reasons for doing things. He is doing things to please the devotees. We do things to please our senses. So there's a big difference. in that respect. He's renounced. He doesn't need anything. He's doing to please his devotees. Whatever he needs to do, any rasa he needs to perform, he does it for his devotees, not for himself. Whereas we will be thinking about what we get out of this relationship. And then Canto 11 is liberation or mukti, disappearance of Krishna and the Yadu dynasty. So we discussed a little bit about that in Canto 1. We'll be talking about Krishna's disappearance. And then I think it's explained properly in Canto 11, or it's elaborated in Canto 11. And then Canto 12, Nirod, the universal annihilation, that everything finishes. But everything finishes when Brahmaji dies after 100 years. Otherwise, there's partial annihilation after every Brahma's day. The lower planets are destroyed like that, and then they're rebuilt as well. When Brahmaji wakes up, everything destroyed. He's going to sleep. Things are destroyed. Then he wakes up in the morning. Oh, what's happened here? He puts it all back together again. So it's nice, like us. We say we're making a jigsaw puzzle or a Lego set before we go to sleep. It's all like, or maybe somebody's come, some pet has destroyed it. Then what's happened here? And then you put it all back together again, and then same again next night. Like that. So Brahma, he's sleeping and then creating, sleeping, creating. That's what he's doing every day. That's his job every day. Every time he wakes up, he has to do some creation job. He's got his like work cut out. He has plenty of work to keep him busy every day. So we didn't talk about Canto 1 and Canto 2 because they don't come into the 10 subjects, the Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshnam, Uta, Manvantra, Ashanukatha, Nirod, Mukti, Ashraya. It doesn't come into that. So I was listening to a class where they explained that Canto 1 is about adhikar, right? Or what is your adhikar on when you're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, or you're hearing a class, or you're doing a service, or you're going to say Sunday program? What is your adhikar? If you don't have any adhikar, then you probably won't even make it there. If you don't have any adhikar, when you're reading, you might fall asleep, right? Or you think, oh, I'll read it tomorrow, like that. So adhikar is about your enthusiasm. How enthusiastic are you? How much hunger do you have for this? How much hunger do you have for listening to Srimad Bhagavatam? If you have hunger, you will come and listen to the program. I know morning is difficult for most people because they have to either get ready for work or they are already at work. So it is very difficult, I understand. But you pray to Krishna, somehow you can listen, or maybe listen later on or something like that. But at least if you're listening, then you can ask the question, if you're listening live. So that's the advantage there. So in Canto 1, Maharaj Parikshit, when he had 7 days to live, he was very, very enthusiastic. He was very, very enthusiastic. He wanted to know what do I need to do. And when Sukadeva Goswami told him, he was like hungry to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So, he was so enthusiastic that he heard it in 7 days and understood it as well. So, can we be that hungry, that enthusiastic like Maharaj Parikshit? Because we're all going to die. We don't even know. We have 7 minutes left. We're all going to die. Can we find that enthusiasm to hear? Then we have the adhikar of hearing. So your adhikar comes from your enthusiasm like Maharaj Parikshit had. And then Canto 2 is about sadhana. So adhikar in Canto 1, and Canto 2 is to do with your subject of sadhana, which was like, what is the duty of the person who's about to die? Excuse me. What is our duty? So Lord Chaitanya explained us what is our duty, right? Bolo Krishna, Karo Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. That is our duty. So we have to do all these things, and then our life will be perfect. So I'm going to stop here. So that is our preface introduction for today. And love to hear your comments and realizations. Please, you can unmute and let me know what you think. And anything you like to add, please, by all means, let's discuss. Who would like to go first? Maybe Pundikaksh Prabhu? Hare Krishna Prabhu. You can turn on your videos. In this format, we want to see everyone. You can turn your videos on. It's not a problem. Please turn your videos on. We can speak face to face.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Welcome.
First of all, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for starting this session. Certainly with the preface, and you explained very nicely about each canto. And first time I am hearing this, like canto 1 and canto 2 are not part of 10 subjects. And it's actually what qualification we have to come to read Bhagavatam. That's so nice point, Prabhuji. And yeah, you mentioned 2 points, like ask for help, be sincere in serving Krishna and devotees. Then you can get help from Krishna. And today we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and came across so many devotees, and we have seen how Krishna is actually keeping their spiritual knowledge, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, that spiritual knowledge is not going to vanish even though you move from one body to another body. So they are continuously serving the Krishna and being a part of Krishna's mission. And so this few points from the preface which I read, Prabhuji. Nothing more to add. You explained very nicely. So I just want to add few points which I read from preface. Yes. And one point Prabhupada mentioned that the only qualification one needs to study this transcendental knowledge is to proceed step by step cautiously and not jump forward haphazardly as with an ordinary book. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not an ordinary book. You have to read step by step. And Prabhupada also mentioned about person Bhagavatam and book Bhagavata. So book is there, but you should also seek the shelter of a spiritual master or a senior devotee to understand this Bhagavatam. And another point which mentioned by Prabhupada is like oneness in the entire human society. Everybody wants to have oneness, and the human society should be under oneness. And Srimad Bhagavatam plays a very important role to bring everybody together. And Prabhupada mentioned the Srimad Bhagavatam should be introduced in schools as well. So once we had a discussion in our own family group that the government is going to plan and introduce more playing time in the school. So there we had a discussion, and I said playing time is okay. They are playing at home as well. So in school they can get at least teacher guidance. So at least Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita should be a part of a curriculum, and in that way we can develop the interest in the people. And that's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. And nice to hear from you. I want to hear from Kiran. Kiranji, how are you?
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
No, I think this is so powerful, so long overdue. I think the whole point of meeting up and being in the association of like-minded devotees is that to churn this again and again with enthusiasm and with vigor and with commitment will only help us become much more devoted to serving the Lord, because ultimately He has given us all this divine knowledge, but we have to offer it back to him through our learning, through our association, and through our service. I think this is the ultimate journey that we're on. And I'm so glad that you put it in a way that you put structure that, in the past, yes, we've looked at all these issues, but we just jump into it without seeing, look, this is the framework, this is how it's structured, and this is how the journey will take you. And, it's like sometimes when at school we used to jump into writing an essay, we used to put pen to paper rather than think about, oh, there is a method to the madness. And when Brahma created the universe and when Krishna glanced, right, there was a method in the way it was done. It started with the dinosaurs, and then he created humans, and the humans, 840 million life forms, of which 400,000 are humans. We're not even at the top of the tree yet, right? So this is a remarkable journey, and this will help us enhance that journey. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your service in setting up, just echoing what the Prabhus have just said as well. Such a great service to put in place daily listening. Well, I know it's not daily at the moment, but three times a week is still not bad. Obviously, we all know about the glories of reading Srimad Bhagavatam on a daily basis, the benefits of that. I mean, that's what these books are for. It's regular reading and immersing yourself into Krishna's pastimes and leelas, etc. So I think what you're doing here is fantastic, and I think I think structure's really good in terms of what you've outlined as well. And really looking forward to joining these classes as much as I possibly can. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mati. Yes, please all join. I tell you, I guarantee you, is absolutely ecstatic. As I've been studying Srila Prabhupada's classes, the kind of information in there, you have to look at it properly, but it's amazing what's in there. We can't, because like we read the purports and we have our own level of consciousness. We look at things in our own way, according to our capacity. But Srila Prabhupada, really goes deep into this, and when we connect with that, it's just absolutely amazing, and it will help our consciousness to develop as well. We can get elevated with Srila Prabhupada's help, which he has been doing all this time. Hare Krishna. Our Deepak Prabhu, are you able to talk?
Yes, Prabhuji, but sorry, because it's caught up between the morning task. I've not been able to attend much of the class, but I'll listen to the recording and come back to you.
That's fine. I know you say you're driving, and I think a lot of the devotees I think we need to, I can't do evenings, but if we need to start early, I'm happy to start early as well for devotees. I don't know, if that makes any difference. Maybe it won't make any difference for some, because they might be starting early than that anyway. So we'll see. And Mataji is there. Purin Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes, well, I can only pray to Krishna that, your enthusiasm, I hope it rubs on us, so the two words, enthusiasm and hunger. And from Kiran Prabhu Viga, he said it in our Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. So we need to have all these qualities to hear and learn about Krishna. And the Ishvasya principle, the Bhagavatam communism you spoke about. So if we understand, I think it will help us, the society, the whole world, So when we remember that everything is owned and controlled by the Lord, then, all the problems will be solved. So, but yes, looking forward to, have a better understanding. of Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I mean, I just want to, this is my service or my offering to Lord Krishna. I just want to create the platform where we can all study together. That's all. I mean, I'm learning, as you know, we're learning together, learning from each other. My favorite time is when we have a little discussion, because then I'm picking up from your realizations, your understanding, from different angles, so it causes synergy that we can say, wow, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. So, I think we've worked together. So amazing. I seek all your blessings. My father-in-law is there, seek his blessings as, my father. So I thank you all for joining and then, working with me, cooperating with me, and, we can advance together. I think that's the idea, really. I'm not, this is not a teacher or a disciple setting. It's, we're just getting into a Sangha together and discussing. And my job is just to create the, it's like inviting you all to it's a personal platform. It's like inviting you all to the house and, having a discussion. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Prabhuji, it just felt like we were sitting in Vrindavan with your background setting as well. So
That was the idea. So, Jai Radha Madhav, let's create the atmosphere of
yeah.
Vrindavan. Look at the swans flying in the background with the long necks. And
Yeah.
I was thinking somebody has seen swans flying, so they were like really the way they painted that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Very picturesque how Vrindavan was, when Krishna was there doing his Leela. So yeah, I'm going to create the atmosphere. Let's all go to Vrindavan. I mean, to be honest, I guess I'm a bit crazy. I would have tried 5 times, but 5 times probably a lot for everyone, for me as well, because we need to process. We don't want to just rush through it. We need to process everything as well, because it's very important, right? Shravanam is important, but you have to do Mananam as well. And then we have to work with that as well, use it in our lives, process it and use it in our life. Then it's useful. You have to digest it, right? And take the nourishment. If you just go and swallow everything, it won't help you. You have to digest it and you have to take the nourishment and use it and use that nourishment. So we can stop here. Radharani, you have to add something? Sorry, yes.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all for joining this morning, and thank you to Narayan Keshav Prabhu and all the devotees here for coming together on this beautiful journey. And we will learn so much. I'm sure by the end of this year, or maybe even in 6 months' time, we will be grateful that we embarked on this journey. And this is going to be such a beautiful journey. And please, please, clear all your doubts, no matter how small they feel to you, no matter how insignificant your question seems to you. Because I've seen personally that whenever I have raised a question, it might be very simple, but the answers coming from the Shastras, coming from Srila Prabhupada, coming from the devotees who have studied them is absolutely amazing. And you thank yourself that you came out of that mindset of not asking what you wanted to ask. And it's going to be such a learning curve for all of us that even we might have heard the Bhagavatam before or the lectures or even tried to read ourselves. But when we discuss it like this, like Prabhu was saying, churning the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, churning the classes we have heard, it's going to be another level of learning for all of us. So I'm really looking forward, like all of you, and I seek blessings for us from all the devotees here, from my dad who is also there. So thank you, Dad, for joining. And let's pray that Guru and Gauranga, they keep blessing us, and every day we feel more nourished, and this is going to be like a battery along with the breakfast and the chanting we do in the morning. This is going to set the scene for us. So we will be different person as the weeks and the months go by. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so thank you so much, and we will catch up again on Wednesday. Please try to join before 8 o'clock if possible, and then we can start on time. Hari Hari Bol.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai,
jai,
Shiva Bhagavatam ki jai.
Samved Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.